certainly a very good option to go to. And I think VETU is feeling it. So now VETU, interestingly enough, was one of the World Grand Prix competitors.
Yes.
Right? And in last year's Contenders Cup, VETU actually made a breakthrough, and that is how he got into the Grand Prix. Mm-hmm. And he did that off the back of Neutral Forest, and at that time, it wasn't so popular. Neutral Forest with kind of the late game neutral package on top of it, right?
Right.
He was one of the only competitors in the North American Shadowverse Open that was using the Israfils and the Bahamut and the Sahak Wills, and he did that to great effect. And that's kind of, I feel like everybody was excited about VETU's list and played around with it for a little
Absolutely.
while. And that was his, in my opinion, his claim to fame, so to speak.
And I think so far as far as today's going, he's so well positioned to win this tournament because he's following that strategy. Well, because there's tilting at Windmills Dragon sitting there. That's what I mean. There are two decks right now that I feel like are actually unstoppable. Neutral Forest is this thing that people feel comfortable with, and I have nothing against the deck anymore. I used to, but I think it's a lot better than it used to be. But that's the hard choice. Do you ban tilting at Windmills Dragon? Do you ban Daria? It's such a tough choice because they can both beat you without you really having ways to deal with it. You know what I mean? Even if you play these tech cards like Mr. Full Moon and, you know, Axe Destroyer and things like that, you might not have it on the right turns. It might not play out the way you want it to, all of those things.
There are so many things going well for VETU right now. He had the 1 to the 2 to the Daria, and he got the Mysterious Circle instead of the Missile, which is so good because we talked about how you need spell boost options that develop a board rather than spell boost options that are things like the Magic Missile or the Mysterian, you know.
Especially against Neutral Forest, the way we've been seeing it play, right? It does have options earlier in the game, but they're not fast. They don't do too much. And if you can get those extra spikes of damage in early with these 2-drops, feels really good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of feel like do you trade out board here? I want to go face.
Never, especially with the staircase sitting across from you. Definitely don't want to tick that down, you know, for your opponent.
Oh wow, he draws
with the Daria in hand. Drawing, interesting.
Interesting.
This will definitely lessen his damage over the next few turns because he doesn't have an extra threat to deal damage next turn, and he will be playing against a Hector on turn 5 most likely.
Yeah. He did grab the Piercing Rune. Oh boy, and now he has a Chimera that he would have loved to draw on the Daria.
Wouldn't be able to get off this turn specifically, but yeah, this is a tough situation because it's like, how much value do you actually want to get out of this hand? Like, you could just Magic Missile, and just draw a bunch and spell boost a bunch, you know, and just have a lot more options coming up. You could play the Mysterian Circle and then play a Piercing Rune to develop a board. This is a rough turn. Like you said, everything was going right, but then he kind of drew more cards, gave himself more options instead of just kind of going all in with the Daria.
Interesting. Now he needs to think about it pretty hard.
Yeah,
it really makes the Magic Missiles feel pretty dead.
Yeah, it does. I feel like that's the two routes you have to think about. Do I go the Magic Missile route and just go the extreme value route against Neutral Forest, and then the turn where they play Beauty and the Beast, I fill up the entire board?
Oh god, it just looks less and less appealing. I mean, maybe it's a strategy to just keep boosting the Daria until it's absolutely no cost, right? And then just try to have 2 big swings that end the game.
Well, that's a good strategy too. I mean, we saw last match that Daria on turn 6 was fine. You know what I mean? Even against a Beauty and the Beast. So, you know, maybe V2's just playing this strategy of, you know, I can wait until he plays Beauty and the Beast, and then I can unload, and then he's gonna have to react to me from then on.
Well, here it is. This is the turn. And Magic Missile is not going to help you in that scenario, right? You do not want to be playing Magic Missile on Beauty and the Beast turns.
No.
So,
but I think he's going to go for the value play, is what it's looking like. He's just going to get as much value out of his hand as he possibly can. Probably play this Blade Mage as well, get that damage in. And then he can Daria on the turn that Beauty and the Beast is played. He still has an evolution point left. This is not a bad strategy.
Yeah. The question here for BALAEN is, you have 2 of them, you have the area, you have another Hector, your staircase is popping. You can wait, right? And in this scenario, you have Elf Twin Assault with currently 3, but I'm expecting it to go up to at least 5 with this draw. Oh god, 1, wow. 4. Okay.
Wow, got 2 Forestcraft cards on there. So BALAEN also playing the White Wolf neutral package.
He milled 1, which could have been. Okay. So it is this turn playing Beauty and the Beast. Do you evolve and swing? That's 5 defense that you're taking.
I think you have to. You have to. You can't just take 5 against Daria.
Yeah.
No shame.
But this setup will allow VETU to actually take care of this Beauty and the Beast while also pushing out an entire board.
Oh gosh, drawing that Flame Destroyer. He's just drawing boost followers after boost followers. It doesn't feel good.
You know, Daria has to have one downside, okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is... Do you play the Piercing Rune? I mean, it's boosting so many cards in your hand, you know? You're not doing damage to the follower, but...
It looks like he's going to go with the boost plan, yep. Ooh.
Okay. Okay. That's value.
Interesting. So they might not be overloading on Craigs and Clarks anymore, but they're still in there. Maybe not the Craigs anymore, but definitely the Clarks.
So you can, in combination with the Blade Mage, remove this Beauty and the Beast and boost your cards in hand. I feel like at this point you have to treat your cards very, very carefully, right? Because this is a lot of boost that you're throwing away if you Daria it.
Yeah, you're throwing away the Chimera, but honestly, I think that's fine.
Okay, Chimera and the Flame Destroyer are gone. Let's see what hand he got. VETU seems like it was about an
not great
hand, yeah.
Not great. So this is the type of draw that instead of redrawing into some crazy nonsense, VETU's probably going to have to win with what he has access to at the moment. Is this going face?
Interesting. He's not at 18.
That's
so
true.
The area won't actually end the game, but this means that the Beauty and the Beast can, for example, swing into the 4/4 area, swing into the 5/5.
Yeah.
Or some combination thereof, right?
This is pretty good. And not only that, area can be evolved to take out something else as well.
Or Elf Twin Assault could come down. How much is it doing now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, this works too. And then you can play the Elf Twins Assault.
You could ETA for 4. Okay, this is making it more safe, right? Trade into Daria.
I feel like not taking out that Beauty and the Beast was such a big risk.
Uh-oh.
Now he's going to lose board, and if he can't take out that Beauty and the Beast area, it will be a lethal attack next turn.
Oh, man.
Why do you not take out the Beauty and the Beast,
VETU?
Oh,
man.
All right, what are you doing?
Oh, man.
I'm scared now.
Okay. Do you even have enough cards? You have to ward.
You have to.
You don't have evolution orbs anymore. Spells don't work against Beauty and the Beast.
And he's got nothing really to challenge the board anymore. That one Daria draw was it. And allowing that Beauty and the Beast to survive just
the White Wolf is going to... No, he's still not going to be able to get lethal here.
There's no lethal. But again, I don't think that matters. That Beauty and the Beast is not dying anymore. It will get healed to full by Ariat. And yeah, that's... I don't know. I can't say I agree with this plan from VETU here.
Yeah, I think you try to trade out the board as well as you can. I actually think that you can not swing face this turn and you'll be fine.
You don't have to. You never have to swing face at this point until there is no ward clogging up the way.
So that means you can beat the Beast into 3/3 and the White Wolf.
Yep, you can play White Wolf. You can play Ariat to heal it to full anyway and just smash into the Ogler to be super safe.
Ariat swing, yeah.
Which I kind of like. Now, I think BALAEN's thinking about, like, okay, if he does have another Daria, can I really afford to waste my Ariat like this? But I don't think this is a waste. I think this is just a great board control option.
Well, you're getting into the turns where you have the White Wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you can play the White Wolf before, you're going to be feeling fine.
Right. Plus, Ariat's kind of a safe play, right? BALAEN's like, well, they have Chimeras that can deal with, 4 defense followers, but how do they deal with 5? Wind Blast can easily take care of that, but I think VETU's under a rock right now. This Beauty and the Beast is such a big rock.
Yeah. Oh, God. That thing is not going anywhere, and now the White Wolf can actually be played in and trade, and this is just one turn away from certainly losing the game.
Yeah.
Gosh.
BALAEN just playing super safe. I don't see any reason to take any chances. I think he's playing this game perfectly.
Oh, no. Oh, no, you're not going to pull anything that can help. There's no way. There's
nothing. That's going to be game 1 for BALAEN.
Wow.
King Elephant's going to come down and do his job.
Yep, bouncing the Beauty and the Beast. That's some tag teaming right there if I've ever seen it.
That's right.
That's a wrestling move right there.
And he's got the abs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It out with the abs.
That's right.
I always think the way that King Elephant is, first of all, the abs, right?
Yep.
But the way he's holding his hands up looks like he's gonna pound to death.
He jumped on the top rope so he can enter the ring and finish off the opponent.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
He reached through the ropes, tagged out with Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
And then climbed up to the top and went for the slam.
That's a pretty cool name for tag team partners, right? King Elephant and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of interesting,
what
right?
What a pair. What
right?
a duo.
What would you call that duo?
The Beautiful King Beast.
All right, so Rainey's not going to be naming any sports teams anytime soon or any tag team wrestling teams, but that's okay. All right, so we've got another match.
Of Beauty.
All right. You know, why don't you just go with something simple like the Duo of Terror or something? You know what I mean? You're trying to match their names together and stuff like this.
Of course.
You got to think wrestling, man. Anyway, so VETU going to lose that first game, going to pilot his Daria deck yet again against, and I believe BALAEN's Shadowcraft deck is just the standard, the mid-Shadowcraft list that we've seen. So nothing fancy with it, but it does get the job done. Can it do it against this Daria deck? If VETU does not draw Daria soon, it might.
Definitely want to see it right now.
He does have the concentration.
Ugh. Okay, right now. That feels really bad.
Yeah, this is getting rough.
Really
Now,
bad.
Chimeras do a really good job of helping you in the mid game, so it's not like he's completely scared off of this matchup at the moment. But the longer this goes, I feel like the stronger it gets for BALAEN, because if BALAEN can get to 10 play points, he can actually end the game with an Aisha.
Yes. In VETU's turn 4 play, it's not looking good. Yeah, there's no evolution orb either. Oh, God. I guess you concentration again?
I think he just Piercing Rune here. I think you cannot allow these followers to remain in play for turn 4, because if a Prince Catacomb comes down, you're not taking over this board at all anymore.
Yeah. Please swing the Magic Owl before you Piercing Rune. I guess you could Piercing Rune the Andrew Alphas. Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe you draw.
All right, looks like he's going for the draw options.
Oh,
still no Daria.
Oh, God. And he has to play the Mysterious Knowledge, too.
You can see the visible, shudder of VETU as well, as he doesn't draw the Daria there.
Oh, boy. Daria. Not doing what it should.
Unbelievable.
Dear Daria, deadly draws done doo-doo do not appeal to my desires.
Somebody help me. Somebody help me. I need to get some boxing gloves up here. Knock Rainey over every once in a while. Get him back on track.
Please, no.
All right, so VETU going to do all he can. Again, he does have up to 3 Chimeras now, so he's got strong options to take over the next few turns.
Too. I mean, Piercing Rune is great.
Great card.
It's a great card. A 2 for 4.
But again, I feel like the closer this game approaches to the 10 play point mark, the better and better it gets for BALAEN. Because even if Daria, goes crazy on turn 8, turn 9, if it's not enough to finish in those 1 or 2 turns, then Aisha comes down and just ends the game. So
he's only 5 damage away.
I feel like a lot of that's going to get chunked up right now. I honestly feel like if you're BALAEN, you can just play the aggressive role right now. You're not really afraid of too much. Setting up Lurching Corpses is great, too. This is one of the decks you can, because it's really hard to Piercing Rune that target. And what I mean by setup is for a Necro Assassin for a bigger board, because that's realistically Shadow's Elf Twins Assault, right? That's how you deal with 2 big followers of Shadowcraft, and you can set up Lurching Corpse fairly easily.
Yeah. All right, clears the board, and is left with a bunch of followers with the Last Word draw effect that BALAEN desperately needs.
This might be a big turn here. This might be like a Clark Chimera turn.
Definitely remove the Lurching Corpse before you have anything. Oh man, a double Necro Assassin is so powerful.
Okay, this works too. Double ward. I like this even better, actually.
He's got a bunch of 0-cost drops too.
This is the turn. This is the non-Daria turn.
Yeah, and what the big problem is now you don't have spells into spells into spells, which is much more damaging to Daria than you would expect.
And now we're in a situation where VETU, picking up that 3rd Chimera especially, just has dominance over this board. Really hard to stop.
It's interesting because knowing that the Necro Assassin was there, I feel like taking out the Skeleton would have been really nice.
Yeah.
you know, just having to force BALAEN to play another follower and then Necro Assassin rather than getting value of the skeleton on board already. You know?
That's true. But this is it. You know what I mean? Like, VETU has to win with this, and it's not like he can't. He can play another Chimera next turn.
I also think the ordering was a bit strange. Could have evolved the
and tried to
Soul
take out a Chimera.
Well, evolve the Soul... Yes, evolve Soul Squasher, take out the ward. Oh, there were 2 wards, that's right. The Necro Assassin hit the other ward. Yep.
But if he would have evolved first, it would have given him a much better shot at the Chimera,
Yep.
Yeah, VETU's just going to have to go face here. These are all of his resources.
This is it. What can you do? Oh my god, double Ector, but
there's
not
no
enough shadows.
Where are the shadows at?
Oh no! You can swing into the 2/3 of the Necro Assassin and the Necro Assassin.
That's not enough. And BALAEN's just gonna crumble to like a multiple Chimera draw. And you know what? This is to say something for VETU, okay? He's the first player we've seen on broadcast to actually order Conjure into Mysterian Circle correctly to get the double ward. Everyone else has done it the backwards way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and only gotten the 1 ward off of it.
Super important.
Yeah, super important.
Super important. It reduced the amount of value that BALAEN could have gotten, you know, evolving to guarantee a removal on one of the Chimeras. Yeah, that, you know what? I mean, I think you said it completely correctly. It came down to turn 6, turn 7. Can you win on turn 8, turn 9?
Yep.
Right.
And you know, the Chimeras were enough of a push. You know, maybe saving the Lurching Corpse would have been better in that situation.
Yes.
I feel like
Getting
the way he played it
out was really bad.
And I think the way he played that made it worse, right? He actually, instead of evolving for face that turn, he evolved to destroy the enemy follower and leave the Lurching Corpse on an uncontested board, which allowed Piercing Rune to basically get free value off.
Could have put the evolution on the Prince Catacomb, making it a 3/3.
And just go face. And then if he wants to Piercing Rune your Lurching Corpse, he's going to have to lose something for it.
Yeah. I suppose the question is for BALAEN then. I mean, he probably had no idea how close Adaria was to popping.
Right, of course. You never know. That's the beauty of the deck.
Let the people rejoice.
Oh, this is such a beautiful deck. The display of the human body and its muscles is just incredible.
Somebody's going to need to get me a psychiatrist after this show. I don't know if I can handle all this. Goodness.
It's great. This is fantastic.
Fantastic. So one of the cool things I like about Shadowcraft right now is the fact that Bellness is so strong. So Bellness into Skull Ring means that you are going to have great board contestation for many turns.
Yes.
I really like that 2-card combo. It's really hard to play around. You can't really do much about it. You kind of just have to be like, all right, well, they have infinite Bellnesses. Yeah.
It's a very good way for Shadowcraft to continue its game plan of just things coming back to get you know? Whether that be Catacomb Skeletons or Bellness off Skull Rings or, you know, Skeleton Princes. There's just so many good ways for Shadowcraft to kind of get their board back up after you destroy it.
Like, for instance, if Elfchild May, if you guys remember that card, I'm sure you guys remember that card fondly. Imagine if that card cost 2 and did the same thing and it was a 2/2. You know what I mean? That's I feel like very similar to what Bellness is. And it just feels great.
Yeah. Very, very similar. Slightly different ordering of effects, but in many cases it's very analogous.
In the early couple turns, yes, you might take an extra damage by playing Bellness over an Elfchild May. However, it's that ever-imposing presence. It can trade up into 2/3s. It can handle the board a lot better.
Yeah.
Here we go. We see a Faria Evolve turn. We haven't seen one of these in a long time.
Nice. I always like this. The value gain for wide board defense buffing is a big one.
Absolutely, especially against Shadowcraft because it allows you to take care of these little nonsense skeleton guys and the goblins without trading too much of your board away. Sets you up really nicely going into the mid game.
Soul Squasher is 2 for 2 today.
Yeah.
Actually being useful.
Yeah, Soul Squasher's still a good card. You just can't afford to play too many of them anymore.
I mean, there is a turn, you know, where you play a Soul Squasher and a Luriel. You can just wipe the board very nicely.
Especially with all these skeletons as fodder here. Yep, looks like he's just going for full board control here. Good stuff.
Yep. Very shiny, Mr. Belanus. So do you skeleton the 2 of the cards, you skeleton into the Kaiser, skeleton into the carrot, and then Belanus into the actress?
Well, there's actually a ton of ways to play this turn, honestly. Looks like he's going with the route of not using the Soul Squasher. Leaving up the carrot here. But yeah, there's a way that you can clear any of the followers that you want to, essentially. It just depends on how you want to set up your own board. Oh, he looks like he's going to do it. He just didn't want to use the shadows. Last game didn't have the 8 shadows for the Ektar. Does not want to take that chance again.
Yeah, that would have been a game changer. For sure.
Actually,
so you're at turn 5. Yeah, you're at turn 5. Don't have your Beauty and the Beast, so I do think that this is, oh my god.
Lots of Ariads, though.
1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Elf Twin Assaults.
Yep. Not bad. Does he want to go for it this turn? I don't see too much of a problem with it. This evolving into the Belanus, yep, and then the carrot into the skeleton. Hopefully he can make it away with both of his followers surviving here. Will not.
Okay, I guess you throw it into Liriel for sure.
Yeah.
Then
maybe you just save the Elf Twins Assault now and then play the Happy Pig or the Staircase. Staircase first, obviously, if that's the play.
Yeah. I would probably drop the Staircase.
And now we're getting into the situation for BALAEN where he's playing a Shadowcraft deck that did not get the Andrialphus, so his options are going to be limited going into this mid to late.
Which can be very, very, very destructive.
That's right.
Game plan.
Now, in saying that, VETU does not have the Beauty and the Beast. He does have the White Wolf, and he has 2 Ariads. So that is a different form of Beauty and the Beast Ariad. It's just going to take him a little bit longer.
And in this game plan, so the really nice thing is, in this game plan, you can use one of your Ariads to just board control, you know?
Yep, you can.
If anything is left on board, you can find a way to gain incredible value off of it.
And the Andrialphus drawn now. I still think that's the play. I think you have to if you're in BALAEN's spot. You need more cards here.
I would assume the skeleton can go face you Necro Assassin.
I don't think you need the Necro Assassin. I guess it's for tempo. Maybe you just want to do this. You need more cards. You need to tempo as best you possibly can. This does set up for a really nice Ektar turn.
That's nice. Back-to-back Ektar means you need to absolutely wipe the board on this turn.
Wow, that was a great draw in Hector right there. That can basically just prevent all of the damage that BALAEN wanted to do.
Yeah. Do you ETA Happy Pig or do you Hector?
I think you Hector. I think Hector is a little bit safer. I don't even think you necessarily need to evolve if you play the Hector. But of course, there are quite a few options again this turn. Yeah, Happy Pig, Actress Faria, plus an Elf Twins Assault or Staircase you can plop down this turn. There's a lot of different things you can put out.
Probably save the ETA for the Hector.
Yeah. Kind of like that
Happy Pig Evolve is the only way you're going to get the extra health back. Hector will still maintain his ping even if you don't evolve him, so I would value getting the healing while you can.
Yeah, it's either play Hector this turn and don't evolve, or play the Happy Pig and evolve this turn. One of those two. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think you want to use that evolve on anything that's not the Happy Pig. Okay, so probably not going to use ETA. Elf Twin Assault, that is. Could. This is right before an Ektar turn. This would prevent all of the damage that an Ektar can deal. And with that evolve, that's definitely looking like an ETA, yeah.
Okay. Okay. At this point, I guess it's just
play Ektar for value.
Catacomb, maybe?
I think you just play Ektar for value here.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is if you play Ektar now, you're setting out something in play that can be White Wolfed into. And BALAEN is playing the White Wolf version of Forestcraft, so he knows that's a definite possibility. He knows how that interaction works.
Oh, boy.
This is rough. This is super rough for BALAEN.
Man, this combo of Happy Pig and Ultimate Carrot is actually super... Knowing that the White Wolf can come down is actually super annoying.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to deal with him this way, but I guess I have to.
Yep.
And this also allows, because I believe this is the last card that Andrew Alpha's pumped, so it's another way that he can get some card draw going.
Okay. So I assume that you just have to Hector.
I think it's Hector time. Yeah, it's the only way to
know
prevent
that
the
there's
damage.
no shadows, so the zombies aren't going to be a thing.
Shapely and succulent.
This carrot getting miles and miles of use.
Interesting. Would you have agreed with Hector going onto the Ector? I probably would have gone face, let the trade happen, and then get the White Wolf in.
Well, that's assuming everything remains the same. If BALAEN does manage to pull out something else, like I feel like VETU just wants to have answers to everything. This does allow the Hector to just trade happily into the Hector. Yeah. They're both. I think they're both actually Hector. Yeah, the Demon Lord Hector.
Trade into Hector.
Yeah, this allows your cards to already deal with what's in play, and then the White Wolf can deal with another bigger threat, something like that.
Also, remember that the area still exists, so anything left on board can potentially swing multiple times.
Yep, and heal back up to full. Yeah,
Staircase is also a choice, right? And if there's any lull in the turns, it's going to be really good in the later game to just drop the Staircase and have that refill.
I honestly don't even think it matters at this point. I mean, he's already got the White Wolf in 2 Ariats. Now, unfortunately, BALAEN is still at 20. So he's going to have to do some chip work here, and a second White Wolf can definitely get some damage done. So that actually might have sealed it, the second White Wolf here.
Yeah. Man, if you've never seen double 0-drop King Elephants, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, it's crazy. Double 0-cost King Elephants into Ariat is a lot of damage in a single turn. Now, the real question is...
BALAEN is setting up an Ector lethal here.
Yep. Can VETU even pull that off? It might not be possible anymore.
I don't think so. I think VETU is just out of options here.
Now, if there are 4 followers remaining, that alone is lethal damage with a Nectar. That was a really nice set of plays from BALAEN there, setting up the zombie party into the Prince Catacomb.
On that turn had to go wide. You have to go wide so you have enough opportunities to swing, and then you White Wolf on the turn that he fills the board. That's the only way to survive this, right? Like, if he had played his Actress, his Angel of the Word, his Carrot.
Yep. This is just a tough spot. VETU was playing towards his endgame, but is now just going to get undercut by this random Prince Catacomb board, followed up by an Ectar. Like, this match swinged so fast by so few cards.
Yeah.
Just a Prince Catacomb play on a full board. That's all it took.
I mean, the real thing about this is that you haven't seen your Aarons. You don't have things like the Kindly Treant, right?
Yeah, where did Kindly Treant go? Where'd that card go? Good card that nobody's playing anymore.
Nobody's here to protect you when you need them most.
Now, he can prevent lethal if he plays, an Angel of the Word or a White Wolf here to take out the Skeleton. And now he's going to fill up the board.
Play the Happy Pig and the Actress. I think you just have to...
Wow, he's holding them.
1, 2, 3, 4, plus 6, 10. 1 off. Oh, no, but the Asia is here. So if you throw in your Catacomb and your Pure-Hearted, then you Asia. Then you Zombie in. And Asia in.
Yep, that's it. BALAEN's going to send VETU to the loser's side.
Very nicely done.
Very tight games.
Yes. Very nicely done on the side of BALAEN.
I thought he was done and out, but again, just a couple sequencing.
Yeah.
Like really nice sequencing plays, and he was right back in it.
White Wolf is dangerous. White Wolf is not necessarily good removal.
Right.
8 play points for 4 damage is not the best. And it's only 1 source, right? It's not like you can spread out that 4 damage. It's 4.
That's right.
It.
And I feel like VETU had every opportunity to set himself up correctly. It was all that first game, not taking out the Beauty and the Beast, that transitioned into this whole 3-game match that he ended up losing. I feel like he...